Hi everyone, it's Donna from Spaceman Paper Crafts, and I'm bringing you my first design team video today for Genevieve Designs. I'm so excited to be a part of Jennifer's design team because the albums that she creates are just amazing and the instructions are so easy to follow. And obviously the templates are all there. So what I've got here, when you download your kit, you will get the guidebook. Now I've laminated and ringed this guidebook, and this guidebook is basically your tutorial. It tells you what albums you can make, the border pages, the matting pages, all sorts of things, and that's in there. And then this is the templates. Now you can make so many different albums from this one template, set of templates. Now I haven't done a workbook like Jennifer's. If you go on, I'll leave the link to Jennifer's specific video where she puts the workbook together. She's done a fantastic job at doing that, because I like to print my templates directly onto my cardstock or my paper. It's easier for me to do it this way, so then I know what pages to print off at a glance. So if I quickly flick through and show you, so these are the templates, they're already inked for you, so when you print them off, that's what you'll get. Now this one I'm going to be using in a second. I'll just take that out of there. Back in. Now the album I made the album using this template, and this is just a mini envelope template. And what I did was, when I cut it out, I cut the bottom of this off, and when it folded over it was open at the bottom and at the top, so I could attach it to the binding. So everything you need for each album is in here. So you've got all the black pages are the main templates, the main body of the albums. Then you get to the blue ones, and these are the 1/8 of an inch borders, like your matting borders. So you would find which one you need and print all those off. Then the pink ones are your decoration templates. So if you were using 6x6 papers, you know, you would, depending on what size album you would make, you would use the template and cut it down to fit that. So that is so if you can see here as well, I'll flip over, you've got all the binding there. I used, I think I used this binding for mine, this size. But they're all in there, and with the guidebook everything is just there for you. All the information is there. Also, if you go on to Jennifer's YouTube channel, you will see that she has a playlist for the Paper Dream mini album templates collection. So she makes them through with you, so you can print off the ones that you need and you can work along with Jennifer, which is amazing. So I'm just going to pop these to one side a minute and show you the album that I've made. So this is the album that I made, and it was using, like I said, this template here. And if I open it up and show you, I'll take this out and that out, you can see that that's how it is there. And then instead of making an envelope, I actually turned it into the album itself, the base. So I cut that piece off, scored along the score lines and folded it up, and that gave me my pages. So I've done, it might look a little album, but I've put lots of pockets and lots of different extra bits in, and all of these are part of the templates as well. Some of these are actually matting templates that I've printed off, that, you know, would fit in quite nicely there. And this is actually a matting piece as well, but I measured it and found out the size of the paper I need to put on. So that's the first page. And then this page I've done like a little belly band on the back, and I've put some little vintage cards in there. This one, all this album is decorated using a Prima designer series paper, and it's called Debutante. So here I've got another little fold out wallet, and that one folds all the way out. And then I've got a little side pocket here, and I've just put some more little tags and things in there. And then open this one up. This one's got a little tag in too. And then on the back, see there are 2 envelopes in there. So that sort of folds that way, and that lives in there. And then on the last page, we've got a little pocket here. It's got a little vintage image in there, and it's got some other little images in there. So let's close that over. And then the chipboard covers, and I've just decorated it using some foam roses and some pearl sprays and some adhesive pearls there. So this album itself, I believe, measures, when it's completed, I think it's 4x4. Let me just double check for you. Yeah, just shy of 4x4. So what I'm going to show you how to do today is I'm going to show you how to make a box to fit this beautiful album in. I've made this for my friend, and I've designed the box so it's just a basic box, but I'm going to decorate the lid to match the album. Okay, so the first thing I need to do is to choose my cardstock, and I've got some craft cardstock that matches. I've also got my distressings out because this is a box that I've designed. It's not a printable. I have to ink up everything myself. So you're going to need a piece of 12x12, and you're also going to need a piece of 8x8, which I'm about to cut for you. I'll show you. So the 12x12 is the base, and the 8x8 is for the lid. Okay. So all we need to do now is bring in our scoring tool. And we'll start scoring. So we'll score the base first. And the scoring of this box is really, really easy. You score it at 4 and 8. Then you rotate it and do exactly the same thing. 4 and 8. Then you'll bring in your lid, and you score your lid at 2 and 6 on each side. Rotate it and do 2 and 6. Okay, so you have your scored pieces. And now we just need to do some folding and some burnishing. So let's take the bone folder and just burnish. I will obviously add all the links that you're going to need. I'll add the links to Jennifer's Etsy store, where you can buy all these templates that you would need, and I'll also leave the link to Jennifer's YouTube channel also, so that you can check that out, and all of your tutorials for the Paper Dream collection can be found on there. Also, there's the tutorial to make up the workbook, which I will do eventually, fingers crossed. And the last burnish. Now, because we've made this box so tall, what we want to do is when we cut it, we don't want so much bulk of cardstock, because this is quite a thick cardstock. So what I'm going to do is take my scissors and I'm going to cut up on this score line. Should have used my bigger scissors, but never mind. And we're going to cut a wedge out here, a decent sized wedge. And then one on this side. Oops, that's not very straight, is it? Do you know what? Let me get my big scissors. There we go, that's better. And then we're just going to cut a piece off there. Now, you don't need to measure. You can if you want to, but there is really no need. So I'm just going to cut up this one, notch and take quite a decent portion off. Oops. And then do the same on that side, and then just trim a piece off there. So you're going to carry on, and you're going to do that on all four sides. Okay, so once you've got your box cut out, this is what you're left with. So we're going to flip it over, and we're going to put some adhesive on these bits. You can use wet glue, you can use a tape runner if you've got a strong one. This is a really good strong one. This is a Crafter's Companion one, and this is really quite good strong adhesive. So we want to put adhesive on all the tabs, a generous amount, we don't want it falling apart. You could also use red line tape, that's always good, and strong adhesive. And I know what I forgot to do, I forgot to ink up the edges, but we can do that. Okay, so we're just going to fold these in and line them up. I'm going to do the one on this side, and then I'm going to just get my bone folder in and just make sure it's all creased down, and then I'm going to do the same on this side. So just line that up. And then do the same with the last one, and then get the bone folder in and crease it all down. And that's the actual box. Now, it does look quite a deep box, but once the album goes in, you see the album fits in nice and snug. I didn't want anything to be pressing down on these flowers, so I have made it quite deep. What you can do is you can put maybe some little chocolates on the bottom. There'll be room for that in there. So let's take the album out, and let's just quickly ink the edges of the box. Okay, that's the box made, and now we'll make up the lid. And we do this exactly the same. We just cut up the score line, take a wedge out, and take a wedge out that side as well. Snip a little bit off the end, and then do that on all 4 sides. And then we just put that together the same way as our lid, but I'm going to use a wet glue this time, because the lid is going to get more movement than the box. So I'm just going to use some Cosmic Shimmer. This is a really good wet glue. Tombow glue is really good also. Obviously with the wet glue you're going to need to leave a little bit longer to dry. Okay, so I'm just going to let that dry. Actually got a few clips here, I'm just going to clip on. Let's see if I've got one more. So I'm just going to clip that together and make sure that dries. And now what I'm going to do, I'm going to make an envelope for the top. Okay, so this is the envelope that I'm going to just cut out now. I don't actually waste any of these, I keep these for making further albums. So even if you only need one piece. So I'm just going to quickly trim this out for you. Oh, I didn't trim that one very well. There we go. Now I am going to make an envelope this time, so I need that flap at the bottom. Okay, and then I'll trim out the rest by hand. You could in fact cut the whole thing out using your paper trimmer, but really these edges are really quite forgiving, and the fact that you can just re-ink them up just to cover any little bits is also great. So I'm just going to get my scoreboard. I have got a little one that I should really put in, but and all these score lines are measured at 1/2 inch, so depending on how you trim at the top, the tabs are usually about 1/2 inch. So let's fold and burnish all this. So I'm going to use some red line tape on this. Shall I put my big light on? Hopefully that's better because I'm filming at night, so I was actually really quite daunted, felt really daunted doing mini albums. I have done one on my YouTube channel before, but that was, you know, just a very basic, following a tutorial sort of video. But these are just so easy because everything's done for you. It's just, you just use your creativity to design whatever sort of album you want, really. So I'm going to make sure that's stuck there. Let's try and line that up. Okay, and then I can just ink that up. I'm just using the Vintage Photo Distress ink. And we're giving things a really good distress look. So we'll pop that to one side a minute, and then we'll check on our box, see how that is doing. Make sure all our little bits are dry. And just check that the fitting is fine, which is nice and snug. Now you can, if you want to, decorate the outside of your box. I had contemplated making it so that I could put envelopes all the way around the box. But I just thought it might make it a bit bulky, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to put an envelope possibly on the top, or maybe I'll stick it on the side, and then the recipient can open it and take out, and then it won't be stuck to the base as much as it would be the lid, so I can decorate the lid. Yeah, I think I'll do that. So we need to cut our papers down for this envelope. So I would definitely recommend keeping all the scraps that you use, because you never know what sort of additions that you want to make to your album. So then we're just going to ink up this paper. And then what you can do is that you can cut out some paper or some card that would fit in there, and you could leave a nice message for the recipient, which is what I plan on doing. I'm just heating up my hot glue gun as well, ready to decorate the top. And then this will fit across the top flap of the envelope. There we go. Now normally you would put something on the back if it was going in an album, but because I'm going to actually stick it onto the side of the lid, it won't need it. So now I'm going to decorate the lid. I actually think I want that a bit more distressed. So I'm going to, I'm not going to put any paper on the top. I'm just going to use the flowers and the pearls. I'll just grab the flowers. few different ones there. And I've got my pearl sprays, and I've got my adhesive pearl. So I'm just basically going to mimic as best I can the lid. Sorry, the front of the cover of the album I'm going to try and mimic to the lid. So I'm going to get my sprays out first. And then I cut them down. Scissors and do that. And then what I did was I just put some hot glue, because this will all get covered up with the flowers, and I just pop them in the hot glue and sort of spread them out a little bit. Okay, then I actually put the flowers on. So we've got a green, 2 yellows and a peach colour. So I'm just going to put some hot glue on there. Now I could have done this when the box was actually flat, which may have been better in some ways, but it can still be done after. I've got a yellow here. Another yellow one. And then a pink one, and this will then obviously help hold down the pearl sprays as well. So we need to get those in the right position. So there we go. And then I'm just going to use some of this adhesive pearl trim. This is really good. It's already sticky. You don't need to be fiddling with glue and things. You can just put them in to a nice position. Start it underneath the flower. And then just make your shape. And then again pop that into the flower so you can't see where it starts. And then get another piece. too long, so I'll just trim that one off. Okay, so we'll pop our album in the box. And then our lid will pop on. Like so. And then our envelope with our little message in, we can stick to the side. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use again some red line tape here. So what I've decided to do instead is to pop the envelope inside the box, because I just think it'll look nicer. What you could do as well with the box is, if you have a really nice stamp, you could maybe emboss the box, obviously while it's flat before you build it. I think that would be quite nice. Okay, get this stuck on. There we go, and then we have our little, I'll take our lid off, and then we can just pop our little card in our envelope in there and pop our lid back on. So there you go guys, that is my first tutorial using the wonderful Paper Dreams collection from Genevieve Designs, and here is the first project. So it's the box and the album. So thank you all guys so much for watching. Don't forget to check out Genevieve's Etsy store, the link for which I will leave, and also Genevieve's Design YouTube channel. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you soon. Take care, bye.